Hello again, everybody. It's me, Marcus, and I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song Where the Devil Don't Stay by Drive-By Truckers. Really enjoyed what I've heard from Drive-By Truckers so far. Nice, just southern rock style. That's something I really appreciate about them. So anyway, very excited to get to this one. This does come as a request. In fact, many people have been requesting this one from the Truckers, so very excited to get to this one. As always, if you would like to make a request, leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to get to it. All right, let's listen. Drive-By Truckers, Where the Devil Don't Stay. Pretty popular request for these guys. Let's listen. And go. Oops, go.
My daddy played poker in the woods, they say, back in his younger days. Prohibition was a talk, but the rich folks walked to the woods where my daddy stayed. Jugs and jars, some shiners. These old boys here, they ain't miners. They came from the 29ers that didn't take a hole in the ground to put the bottom in their face.
Ooh. Hey.
When the dust bowl dried in the woods of Alabama, didn't see no light. My daddy played poker by a hardwood fire, squeezing all his luck from a hot copper wire. Scrap like a wildcat, fights to the end. Trap a wildcat and take his skin. Deal from the bottom, put the ace in the hole. One hand on the jug, but you never do know. Sick. Your mama called the law, they're gonna take me away. Down so far, even the devil won't stay. Where I call to the Lord with all of my soul. I could hear him rattling the chains on the door. He couldn't get in, I could see he tried. With the shadows of the cage around the 40-watt light. Stump in the woods, back when the world was gray. Before black and white went and chose up sides and gave a little bit of both away. The only blood that's any cleaner is the blood that's blue or greener. Without either you just get meaner, and the blood you gave gives you away. Soul. I could hear him rattling the chains on the door. You couldn't get in, I could see you tried. With the shadows of the cage around the 40-watt light.
That was cool, man. From the moment they really kicked in the instrumentals there, I was like, yeah, this song is going on the playlist. This song is awesome. Just a really great southern rock track from these guys on this one. A lot of great energy, great guitar work, just a fun song to listen to from start to finish. And there at the end, they went strong with some guitar solos. I mean, man, this song was just so well made. From the lyrics, the way it was sung, the instrumentals, everything was just fantastic. So very excited to talk about this one and really break it down for you guys. But of course, thank you for whoever requested this one, all the various people who did, because this was a treat. I gotta say, this was definitely a treat. So anyway, let's of course break it down. Let's start with those lyrics. I do see that this was written by Mike Cooley. You guys kind of tell me in the comments when it comes to this band that a lot of the times the person who wrote the song is the same one who sings it. So during the Jason Isbell era, if he was the one writing the song, he would typically sing it. In this case, Mike Cooley wrote the song, so I assume he was also the one singing it here. Does show credits for Kimberly Morgan, Shauna Tucker, and Jason Isbell on backing vocals. That's pretty cool. So anyway, let's take a look at these lyrics. Like I said, just a bit of a side note, it does say that Mike Cooley wrote this one based on a poem by his uncle Ed Cooley. Ed got to be there when they recorded it. Think he packed for a long evening of recording, but they'd been playing it live for a year or so and ended up nailing it in one take. So nice. Cool. All right, lyrically. My daddy played poker in the woods, they say, back in his younger days. Prohibition was the talk, but the rich folks walked to the woods where my daddy stayed. Jugs and jars from shiners, these old boys here, they ain't minors. They came from the 29ers. It didn't take a hole in the ground to put the bottom in their face. Apparently 29ers was a name given to those who participated in the southern U.S. gold rush in the 20s, which ranged from Alabama to Virginia. Cool. But it does say that it does mention prohibition, which I forget the exact time period that prohibition was, I guess, enacted. But I guess it was a time when this person's dad. So he's talking about his uncle Ed Cooley, and so Ed Cooley's father, I guess, is the one in this story and was alive during Prohibition. Played poker in the woods. They say back in his younger days, Prohibition was the talk, but the rich folks walked to the woods. So, Prohibition really didn't stop many people from drinking. So, they just had to be a little bit more creative in the ways they got their hands on their alcohol. And especially if you were wealthy, you could easily skirt the law. So, so in this case, the wealthy, they walk into the woods, they find some moonshiners, of course, and, they just buy a jug of moonshine. That's what it says here, jugs and jars from shiners. These old boys here, they ain't miners. I think moonshiners had to, hide their business a lot, so they would hide in, caves or old mines or whatever, I think, if I remember correctly. So I think that's what the guy is saying. These guys ain't miners. Yeah, they may be hanging out, here in the woods or, in a cave or a mine or what have you, but, they ain't miners. They're selling moonshine. Back in the 30s, when the Dust Bowl dried and the woods in Alabama didn't see no light, my daddy played poker by a hardwood fire, squeezing all his luck from a hot copper wire. Scrap like a wildcat, fights till the end. Trap a wildcat and take his skin. Deal from the bottom, put the ace in the hole. One hand on the jug, but you never do know. So this part I'm thinking, so to me it's Ed Cooley sort of chronicling the life of his father, right? So, late 20s, early 30s, selling moonshine during Prohibition. In the 30s, he's experiencing the Dust Bowl. But the thing that remains the same is that he's always playing poker, always has his hand on a bottle of shine, right? So this is a person who is sort of like a cornerstone in this scene, right? So pretty cool stuff. This part, to me, it made me scratch my head, squeezing all his luck from a hot copper wire. I don't know enough to say what this part is about. My daddy played poker by a hardwood fire, squeezing all his luck from a hot copper wire. My immediate thought was how some people will strip apart things to get the copper wire to sell it. I wonder if the word hot here means stolen. And so, like, he's basically gambling the bit of money he made off of some stolen copper wire or something. But I really don't know. Someone who understands this a little bit better, help me out here. So son come running, you better come quick. This rot gut moonshine is making me sick. So it sounds like eventually his father sort of succumbed to just drinking too much moonshine all the time. I wonder what rot gut moonshine is. Apparently rot gut is a very cheap liquor which may contain methanol or other alcohols that can be extremely toxic. Moonshine was notorious for being potentially toxic, and hence why it's probably illegal still in many places. So cheap moonshine is making me sick. Your mama called the law, and they're going to take me away. Down so far, even the devil won't stay. Where I called to the Lord with all my soul, I can hear him rattling the chains on the door. He couldn't get in. I could see he tried through the shadows of the cage around the 40-watt light. So yeah, it's basically been drinking too much moonshine. The cheap stuff is making me sick, and your mom's tired of it. Again, this guy doesn't seem to change. He's probably still a gambler, still a moonshiner, and at this point, his wife is just like, "I've had it." Calling the cops on him, lock him up to where even the devil won't stay there. So lock him up and throw away the key kind of thing. And yeah, this life of moonshine is kind of taking its toll on him. Daddy, tell me another story. Tell me about the lows and the highs. Tell me how to tell the difference between what they tell me is the truth or a lie. I love how that part was sung, by the way. Tell me why the ones who have so much make the ones who don't go mad, with the same skin stretched over their white bones and the same jug in their hands. Interesting. What I'm taking from this is that, tell me why the wealthy have so much and the poor don't have enough, or tell me why the wealthy treat the poor so much differently, because, that seems to be a theme that runs through the song. As you see in the very beginning of the song, it's the wealthy who are the ones who can afford to go out and get the moonshine, right? And then also maybe he's asking about the racism, because, Isbell has very much talked about, racism in his songs. This seems like a, somewhat more of a left-leaning type of band. So with the same skin stretched over their white bones and the same jug in their hand. Well, actually, not racism. Still talking about the wealthy. So it's like, yeah, we're both, we have the same skin. We have the same, we breathe the same air. We bleed the same, we're the same people. It's just one has more money, the other doesn't. But why are we treated differently? My daddy played poker on a stump in the woods back when the world was gray, before black and white went and chose up sides and gave a little bit of both their way. The only blood that's any cleaner is the blood that's blue or greener. Without either, you just get meaner, and the blood you gave gives you away. So interesting. His dad still plays poker in the backwoods, right? Back when the world was gray. So I'm thinking like when things were black and white, we'd have color TV or color photos. Yet he was already doing his thing. But in this part, before black and white went and chose up sides and gave a little bit of both their way. Not too sure what he means by that, except I'm picturing maybe the civil rights movement, but I'm not too sure. The only blood that's cleaner is the blood that's blue or greener. You hear the term blue blood, which I don't know the exact definition of it, but I always picture someone who is like the poster child for something, right? Or greener, and then like to be green is to like be inexperienced. So if you're saying like if someone's got clean blood, it's like either because they're very noble in a sense, or they are just inexperienced, they're green. Without either, you just get meaner, and the blood you gives you away. Son, come running, you better come quick. This rot gut moonshine is making me sick. Your mama called the law, and they're gonna take me away. Down so far, even the devil won't stay. Where I call to the Lord with all my soul, I can hear him rattling the chains on the door. He couldn't get in. I could see he tried through the shadows of the cage around the 40-watt light. So what I get from this last part is that where I call to the Lord with all my soul, I can hear him rattling the chains on the door. He couldn't get in. I could see he tried. So this guy tries to find peace maybe through God, and has just lived such a crazy life that he's to the point where he feels like God can't save him, basically, right? Like he calls out to him and says he couldn't get in, and I could see that he tried, so he he tried to be saved, I guess, through God and just wasn't able to. And so, who knows what happens to this man once he passes away. But, I think it was a very interesting song. One thing I like when it comes to music, it's the reason I listen to people like Neil Young or Jim Croce. They're people who just tell stories of others and just make them seem so authentic and interesting. And so I'm a sucker for songs like that. And this is one of those songs where it's just telling a story about somebody in a very interesting and creative way. So for me, I love it. I think from a lyrical standpoint, I got to give it 2 thumbs up. Very well written, a lot of cool parts in the song. As far as the instrumentation goes, the guitar work throughout, as I mentioned, was absolutely fantastic. Some really great guitar riffs, very, Southern rock inspired. I mean, this is a Southern rock song, very clearly. Great guitar work, like I said. Guitar licks throughout, guitar riffs throughout, fantastic. A few guitar solos here and there. Those were great too. Nice touch, especially there at the end of the song. Great drum work, great bass work, really providing a nice rhythm for the song. And then the way it was sung too just had this sort of Southern rock edge to it that I think really added a whole lot to the song. So can't discount the way the singer approached this one. I thought it was fantastic. So overall, instrumentally, vocally, I give it 2 thumbs up as well. I thought it was fantastic. And as far as replay value goes, I had a great time listening to this one. This was just a fun song to listen to. As I mentioned, the instrumentation was great, the singing was great, but you really take into account the lyrics and how it also works with what they're doing here in the song. And to me, it was a very cohesive, well-made, well-put-together song. One that's a lot of fun to listen to thanks to that great guitar work. So yeah, I'm going to come back to this one for sure. Like, without a doubt, this is going to make the playlist and it's going to get some repetition. So 2 thumbs up all the way around. Really enjoyed this one. Thank you so much again for the people who had been requesting this one. As always, if you would like to request something, please leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to get to it. If you enjoyed the music, go support the artist. Go listen to their music wherever you can. One place you can definitely find some Drive-By Truckers is going to be in my Spotify playlist. It's in the description below. It has every single song I've heard so far on my channel. If you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment. All right, that's it for me. Hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.